Good evening, everyone, or morning, wherever you may be. Uh, Welcome to Slices and Dices, little Savage Riffs tonight. I'm John, or Zero Bore, or Zero, or whatever people like to call me. Um, and we're gonna do some Savage Riffs with some folks here tonight. We're down a player due to some illness, but we should be back soon. But tonight, we've got we've got our tomorrow Legionnaires en route to a distress call. So I'll have people introduce themselves. I think we'll start with Ripper, aka Jane, and she's like, "Oh God."
Why? Why would you do this, you monster? Um, hi, I'm Jane. I play Ripper, and you know what I'm really looking forward to tonight because it's been a long downtime since since the last game. Some things have happened, and I've been looking forward to it. So
Right. Next up, well, you've got Dr. Ellis, or DR51773.
Yep, that would be me. Your friendly neighborhood robot doctor. That's sometimes a little bit absent-minded, but apparently he's gonna get a little bit of an upgrade, so maybe that would be fixed.
Just a bit. Just a bit. All right, and then last and certainly not least, we have Gordo playing Kriptk. Say hi to
Everybody? Yep. Yeah, I play Kriptk, the Master of Magic, Sultan of Sorcery, Archon of the Arcane Arts, the Leyline Walker.
Oh my! You got to settle down with your arcane power there. You're causing internet disruptions. All right. So,
Nice.
so yeah. So like I said, we when we left off, the group had gone to Merktown. They were gathering up. They got a vehicle. They got it outfitted. They uh, hired some muscle because none of them are really fighters. None of them really
We're all nerds.
soldiers or anything. Yeah. It is a group of nerds. That's very true. And so they left Merktown in their new vehicle, brand spanking new, and it's got a gun on it and everything, wheels that go round, the whole bit.
And Mutiny has 6 or 4 wheels, doesn't it?
I believe it has 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of wheels. It's basically like it's like an armored recreational vehicle. It's very
Yeah.
large. It has some like labs in it and cargo space. It's quite nice.
if
Yes.
I may, if anyone's ever seen the movies, I think it was called Stripes with Bill Murray. If you remember the RV from that, that's basically what it is.
It is. It really is.
Just less guns.
Just
and
less guns.
flamethrowers.
Yeah. For now. They also visited. I guess you could say the manufacturer of Dr. Ellis, Nirani Enterprises, and received a coveted technical manual. And during the trip, so they got their vehicle, they headed back to Legion Lands because they were going to go on a mission because they developed a device that might be able to possibly use to communicate with the Zitizix aliens that are a serious possible threat to the world. And they were going to they went to go get a vehicle so they could go and then talk to bugs. And and while when they got back, they got to tomorrow Castle Refuge, their home base. There was a distress call that had been received from a town called Valiant, which is southwest of you, and it mentioned Zidix activity, which is concerning because uh, southwest of you is in Texas. All the known Zidix activity prior to that occurred in Minnesota and north. So very concerning that a hive might be starting up down there. So you are being dispatched immediately to go and check into that. And while you're en route, Planck, who is Wilhelm Planck, who is not able to be here tonight, but will be kind of played by me, I guess, or whatever. He dabbles with the technical manual, and Dr. Ellis, you get some upgrades. Turns out you were operating in a kind of a low functional mode, and it turns out that that your specific model was kind of a utilitarian one, where they would sell it to people who needed something, and then there were different option packages that could be turned on or turned off. And but your model was used for everything from like local security to medical assistance to research, librarian type functions and that sort of thing. So you had a lot of options. So Ellis has made some changes. He's done grown up and become a real robot. And there's a door.
Yeah. And then during the trip, once everything's pretty much turned back on, he'll probably have that realization, like that good old Ralph in the school bus give meme, and it's, I'm in danger.
He may be.
So he'll go over to Ripper and ask Ripper if he can train Alice in basic like hand-to-hand combat and self-defense and all that fun stuff.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's all right. No, how dare you cough?
More or less just clearing my throat.
Yeah.
I could.
So yeah, you're heading out over that way. And while we're at it, I think that we should Benny up, and by that I mean let's do an interlude scene for everyone, because that'll be fun. You've got some time to kill. The place you're going to, there actually is a road. Like it's not just like you trekking through trackless wilderness. It is. It's mostly dirt. There are patches of concrete here and there. You might see the occasional like rusty sign buried in like the ground from like even like pre-cataclysm days and that sort of thing. So yeah, you've got some space to go and do some things. So I'm just gonna deal everyone a card.
Sweet.
And Ripper, I think this might be your first time doing an interlude, if I'm correct, right?
I don't remember one from last session, so
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah, we had the chase last session, so
yeah,
this is slightly different than the chase.
Yep, these are
It still
slightly
uses
different
cards.
Yep, still uses cards. So for people just tuning in for the first time or whatever, interludes are a thing in Savage Worlds. They're meant to kind of let you do a little bit of role play, backstory building kind of thing, but on the fly a little bit. They give so everyone's dealt a card, and then the suit on that card kind of gives some different suggestions about like 3 different topics: a downtime thing you could be doing, a backstory, or a trek. You don't have to do them, but doing so or providing something new or interesting about your character gives will net you a Benny token, which always handy to have. So does anyone want to go first?
I got a spade.
Got spade. I think you want to go first.
What are the things you can do with a spade?
So what you can do with a spade, downtime activity. You can spend time alone or in quiet contemplation. What are you doing for that quiet contemplation time? You
entering the
can
Matrix.
you can reveal some backstory. So a great victory or personal triumph of some kind, or a trek. Discuss a difficult obstacle that you overcame at some point along the way.
I think I'll go with simple and quiet contemplation, and Alice is thinking about his past under the new light that his recent upgrades have afforded him, and it'd be like, wait a minute, my previous life wasn't that great. What have I been thinking all this time?
So Ellis is having a bit of an existential crisis.
Basically,
Fair.
we'll unlock the existential crisis for us.
Have a penny.
Okay, so who wants to go next?
All right. Yeah.
If you want, I can.
Sure. What'd you get?
I got the 4 of clubs.
Four
Oh,
clubs.
it's
all right.
on.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
there it is.
No worries. All right. So your choices are: so you could do a downtime thing, in which your character may brood or is angry about something. What is it, and how do you want to misbehave? You could go into backstory, a tale of misfortune from your past, perhaps revealing something of your hindrances or a dark secret. Or you could do trek, a hardship that you overcame on your trip, or on a previous trip. Tragic death of a favored of a friend, or spoiled the lost supplies, mechanical breakdown, bad weather, really anything.
Um, I think they'll do. I think they'll do a trek.
Okay.
Find pencil. So they'll be talking about the first time that they had to learn how to. They'll say disable an opponent, but that technically means kill,
Okay.
which is, for anybody that would be thinking about it, that's kind of unusual for, a robot to do. Technically. So the fact that it had to be trained but they were very successful. Because the goal
Cool.
was to be quiet, to be in and out very quickly.
Cool. So that leaves us with Kriptk.
Okay. Kriptk got hearts, so I think he will work on his downtime practicing a skill.
Okay.
And so basically, yeah, he's continuing to work on his spellcasting. And so anytime we're not busy with something else, he kind of goes off by himself, and the party notices that there's lots of blue glowing lightning bolts and stuff and whatever. And Kriptk basically says, yeah, if you want to be safe, just kind of stay back whenever you see that. And every once in a while, they hear him cry out. He gets zapped or something, and does the Harry Potter, the Wingardium Leviosa wrong, and gets a little shocked. But he's working on trying to improve that. So.
Gotcha. All right. Cool. All right. Well done. All right. We've got some bennies going. All right. Toss some bennies out your way. So we're all good there. All right. So I believe now I'm going to move you all over to the map as we do some traveling. And let's if I move over to the map too, oddly enough. And you kind of have to zoom out a little bit because it's a big region. So you're at Castle Refuge. You got your Mountaineer here. So you can see that. Everyone see that?
Yep.
Good. All right. So your destination is over this way. So it's in territory that is kind of contested between the coalition states and the people that live there. The coalition's like, we are going to. That's going to be ours, and the people that live there are like, no. So, um, so Valiant is pretty close to CS Lone Star, and not too far away from CS Eldorado either. But neither is Castle Refuge. So you probably have more to worry about issues running into stuff from Lone Star or whatever. So you are who's driving?
Well, Alice, with his new upgrades, he has been trained in driving, so hopefully he won't drive into a tree again.
Okay, all right.
So the offer is there, and he's also trained in survival. So
okay.
Yeah, Gordo dropped for a bit. Yeah.
And all right. So are you letting Ellis drive?
The question is, do you want to... that's the question for the rest of the party.
Let me just take a look here and see if Planck would have any objection. I don't think he will. Or maybe he will. He might have some driving.
Yeah, he has some driving because of his subnet.
He has a tiny bit of driving. So maybe you can drive. They'll let you drive.
I mean, I only can just drive.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of the same. Well,
yeah.
Planck does have the vehicle operations package in his cybernetic installation, so we could have him drive.
Well, we both can drive if need be. So
yeah,
that's the question for the rest of the party.
Yeah.
Who do you want to drive?
And who do you want to navigate? Because we're gonna have two different folks for that.
Yeah, I think Kriptk will navigate. He's pretty good with survival. So
okay.
Yeah, I've got a D8 in it. I don't know if I can't remember if I'm skilled in it or not, or trained in it. But
well, if you've got a D8, you are trained. So.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
I'll drive because I'm here, and then maybe Kriptk will navigate.
Sure.
Sound like
all right.
that?
So Kriptk, give me a survival roll to navigate and not get you all lost. Pretty easy, matter of fact. But I'm gonna give you a +2 on that roll because there is a road and there are technically signs. There's a path, so you didn't do great, but so maybe you didn't notice maybe shortcuts that you could have taken, but you got there, or you're getting there.
You got dust in your eyes, sticking your head out of it.
Yes. Well, this vehicle actually has a sensor suite, so you don't need to stick your head out.
Sensors saying go over a bridge that's not there anymore.
Okay.
Oh, it's like Google Maps.
Yep. Well, that's part of the Tomorrow Legion's mission is that they're to explore and try to help map and that sort of thing. So, and because there is some degree of trade a little bit with Valiant, you actually have some degree of maps and stuff. So you're able to navigate. You're getting pretty close. You're a few miles away. And Ellis, you're driving. Is anyone on lookout or anything like that?
I will be.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a notice roll. Ellis, since you're driving, you can also give me a notice roll.
Okay.
Okay. Notice is definitely super run here. Yes, it is. There it is.
Okay. All right. So you both get a success.
Do you want me to do a driving test as well? Or?
No, you're good. So as you're driving on the trail and so forth, and luckily this road is wide enough that your vehicle is quite large, but it is wide enough to accommodate your vehicle for the most part.
Is it like a Hummer on the main road, where it takes up almost 2 lanes?
It's pretty big. It's not much smaller than the APC that you hijacked early on.
Mm-hmm.
Just built along different lines. But as you are, like I said, you're getting within a few miles of Valiant, and you see You see a carcass on the side of the road. A big carcass. Really big. And it doesn't, like I said, it appears to be a carcass. It does not appear to be moving. It's furry, looks like.
So, I think Alice will probably slow down and just point out it to Ripper. Hopefully, Ripper knows a little bit more about those kind of creatures. Or he'll point it out to Ripper or Kriptk and just say. And he'll just say, "There's something in the road there." Wrong voice. There's something in the road there.
I did notice.
Point it out to Ripper and Kriptk to see if they have any idea of what that could be.
It is quite large. What would I roll to identify it?
Give me a common knowledge roll, and I'll give you a +2 bonus. Well done.
Hey. Look at that.
So, yeah, that is a success with a raise.
Mm-hmm.
So, what that means is that, so it appears to be a very large bear. How big? You're not sure. Definitely bigger than a normal bear. Definitely much bigger than a normal bear.
It appears to be a bear, but I'm certain it is bigger than a normal-sized bear.
You'd have to actually stop and get out to examine it if you wanted to get a
appears
better
to be
idea of the
dead.
size. Yep.
Does
appears
it
to
take
be
up
dead.
like when it's lying out across? Is it across the entire road, or
No, it's on the side of the road. Like you don't, you can get up, take a look at it, or you can keep going. Might give you an idea of any possible predators or whatnot that are in the area, but you are also in a hurry. But hard to say.
what do you all think? Should we examine the body?
Kriptk says, "Well, just we should probably examine it quickly and see if it's not a normal-sized animal, then perhaps there's something else going on. We should report back. So maybe just take a moment to examine it."
So
You're driving the bus.
Well, Alice will stop as close as possible to the bears. So basically, have it just sitting outside the door, so they don't have
Okay.
to stick their head too far out of the.
Okay.
Not.
It is quite large. Who's going to go examine it?
Well,
I guess Ripper can if you want, or the both of us can if you want to.
Well, I was gonna have because Alice does have a bioanalyst kit, so he can try and figure out if the bear has been genetically modified. Hopefully.
Yeah. And I can try and identify what killed it.
All right. So you get out and you're taking a look at it. You estimate it's about 18 feet in length, which is about
Not this big.
it's or about 6-7 meters in length, roughly, for those who use metric.
That's a lot of bear.
That's a lot of bear. That is a lot of bear, and it very much appears to be. It's in shreds. If you want to figure out how long it's been dead for, you can do a survival roll. And then Ellis, since you're checking over the body, it's got some oddities. You don't even need to roll.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ripper, you think
Any
it's been dead
cybernetics
for
on the
about
bear?
5 days. Yeah. There's no cybernetics, but there's spots where the
I was to
skin
check to see
and the
if,
fur.
Oh no.
The skin and fur have given away to like a chitinous shell in places, and the jaw has a pair of mandibles as well as normal like bear teeth. Um, the and everyone can give me a notice roll, and whoever gets higher will give it to you.
Yeah.
Right.
So John, I'm here. I'm having some
Mhm.
issues with the internet, so if someone else can roll a notice roll for me, please.
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah, even though I got that one, I've still got a success.
I rolled
Okay.
quite well.
You did. You did. There we go.
It's good having a +6 to notice.
No.
I'm actually back. I can go ahead and roll it.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
All
Roll
right.
better.
Kriptk got the same roll as me.
Yeah. So uh, Ripper, you spot a few feet away because you're like looking at the body, and then you're like, it's missing a foot, and you're looking around, and you find it several feet away, and it's weird because it doesn't have a bear paw. It's like a human foot. It's well, it's more like it's a bear paw, but instead of claws, it's got human toes. 5 of them.
It is.
Oh no, a werebear.
Which are that is a thing. That is a thing. Ellis, did you want to do a healing or a research um, check to see if you can pick up any genetic abnormalities?
I think I'll do a
Or,
research because I've already
okay,
done a few notice checks, so we'll try with
sure.
research this time.
All right,
If you can, Kriptk is going to cast Arcane Protection on both of them, just in case.
sure. You can do your casting roll.
Chant a few words, they start glowing blue, and they have basically a little bit of protection.
Okay.
So
Are you
that's
gonna put
just
one
6 success.
on Planck as well?
I am. This is going to be with an extra PowerPoint to do the additional recipients.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
So
Well,
now
it
he's
goes
got
off.
blue eyes.
There's a spellcasting roll.
Nice.
Mhm.
All right.
So
So
now
everyone's
Kriptik's
glowing a
got
little
blue
blue.
eyes.
Yep. All right.
Debu,
So
debu, die.
so yeah, you yes, there's definitely what'd you get for your research role there? Okay.
Just a
All right.
success. A single
You got a
success.
success. Yeah, you're not exactly sure how or why, but there is definitely been some genetic tampering with this bear. You're not sure if it's intentional or like a natural thing. It's hard to say. You would need a a better lab than what you've got here in the field.
Well, we'd have a no, we don't. We have a medical bay in the mountain.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't have a lab.
correct.
We didn't put an
Yeah.
extra for the trailer for that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Going to hop back in and continue on.
Yep, I think so.
Oh, was I able to identify what killed it? 'Cause I
You're
rolled
not sure.
survival.
Whatever it was, probably was like a wild creature or something.
Okay. Can I look around to see if there's any other like paw prints, footprints, tire treads,
Sure.
things like that?
Yeah, sure. Give me a notice roll.
Notice.
All right. You you don't really see much. Actually, no, I take that back. You notice like maybe up in like a tree, like some scratch marks. Hard to say if it was. I mean, this bear was 18 feet tall, and they are quite a ways up there. It could have been from the bear, but you're guessing from like the angle of them. It also could have been something was up in the tree and attacking the bear. So hard to say, but definitely no evidence of like energy blasts. No cauterization of wounds. It's shredded, like it got torn apart by something, in and nothing consistent with like vibro weapons or anything else.
Okay. Would I be able to figure it out? Because I've got something in my head, but I want to know if the character could figure it out. Could I roll survival to see if it was some sort of maybe a mutant, like some sort of a cat of some sort that took this thing down? Or
Sure, you could
Or if it
you
was
could
acidic.
give that a shot. Yeah,
okay,
or you could, yeah.
survival.
Even you got a success, but you're like nothing's. I mean, it could be a really big cat of some kind. Maybe you don't know a whole lot about the Zitics, so you're like maybe it's just there's so many possibilities in Rift's Earth. It could have been really anything. There's nothing conclusive here, unfortunately. Definitely
Okay.
something physical, like in just raw power kind of situation.
Yeah, something strong. Whether or not it was
Hmm.
big, who knows?
Yeah, probably big.
Kriptk is going to cast Detect Arcana real quick just to see if there's anything magical going on.
Mm,
Okay. Roll it.
Okay. So I apologize. I tried to roll it. It does not appear to be going through, at least on my end.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
Okay.
Also, Alice will be grabbing a sample,
Okay.
a blood sample from the bear for later
Sure.
research.
And Ripper points at some of the wounds and says, perhaps grab some evidence from the wounds. We might see different fur, possibly.
Okay. All right. Cordo's having internet struggles, technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Yay.
It seems like Zoom is picking one person every week so far to like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're gonna have trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with the connection. I'm actually on my phone on Discord, so I can hear you all. But for some
Okay.
reason, my Wi-Fi is bugging out tonight,
No.
and I apologize for that.
Not anything you can control, unfortunately.
No.
All right.
Computer says no.
The creature itself does not appear to be magical. Um, what is the range on that?
The range on your
On your power, I
Detect
think it's
Arcana.
Well, it's yeah. So basically, it's my line of sight. I think it's
okay. Your
and I
audio
can
cut
roll
out.
a notice check if you need me to for if to actively try to sense like a supernatural being or something.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're not getting anything right now.
Okay.
So, all right. All right. What you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Guess continue.
Yep. As I said,
Okay.
Alice will grab the sample for later research with the bioanalysis kit. See if he can make a quote-unquote cure or something along those lines.
Yeah. Who knows?
Reverse
Alright.
engineer it.
Don't mind Ellis. Just making bioweapons over here. All
Yep.
right. So I'm healing. So you continue on your path, and you go for a little bit further, and you see up ahead. You don't even have to roll. You see up ahead, but it's up in the sky, and it's this large mass of just hundreds of birds, and they're clustered in this like meandering spiral pattern that's just swarming around. And kind of like as you see this, the swarm dives at you. And maybe there's more than one swarm.
Mm.
And we're gonna go to a new map.
Ooh. Birds, birds, birds.
Oh no, not a birdemic.
Just do my little GM thing.
Anything but a birdemic.
It's a birdemic.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're gonna be attacked by bad-looking gifs of birds.
Indeed.
They explode into other bad-looking gifs.
Exploding birds. The best thing ever. All right. All right. So let's do some initiative. So what I'm gonna do is deal those out. And let's see. Kriptk, and me, and red, and Planck, and red. All right. Oh, some of you already have cards from earlier. Hang on. I forgot to recall. Let me recall. Terrible GM. Terrible person. Shuffle. Nah, we'll do it. See, we're all rusty. We haven't done this in a while.
A Joker! Yay!
Ooh, that is good.
Got the same card as I got for the. I got the same card as I got for the interlude.
Nice. Aren't you lucky?
But that's a queen.
No, I gotta deal myself a little more since I'm. All right. So, top of the order. Anybody got an ace or a joker they want to jump in with?
What's our range right now to the nearest swarm?
It looks like. Are you guys able to see the map?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yep.
About 30 yards.
Yeah.
Let's check my range on my spell here.
Sure thing.
Okay, yeah, I'll jump in. I'm going to go ahead and do a blast and try to take out the ones to the west.
Okay. All right.
And I will, so it's... Yeah, I guess I'll keep it with the medium blast template. I'm going to go ahead and use... I'm going to use the +2 power points to cause 3d6 damage instead of 2d6 damage. So total 5 power points on this.
All right.
Hey, nice. Raise.
Yeah,
So it's actually 46 damage. Actually, I need to roll another 2d6 on that. Hang on.
Well, you'd add your bonus damage. Ooh.
Yeah, so it's 46 total. So it looks like a total of 33 points.
Okay.
So yeah, Kriptk sees him. He leans out the window, and you hear a thunderous voice. He, directs some angry words at the birds, and then you see an explosion off in the distance.
Nice. All right. So this is 5.
And we all get bennies for that, right?
Yep, I'll get those out to you in just a moment.
Okay.
Hooray!
All right, so 5 raises on that. Let me get my pennies out. All right, cool. Well done.
Now, is it just the 26, or does it include that? There's 2 rolls there for the total of the 46.
Oh, right, 46. Oh, good point.
So it should be 33 damage total, I think.
Yep.
That's a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage.
It worked out good. Yeah, ace 3
So,
times.
Success with 9 raises. All right, so. Pull up. All right. Alright, so, yep, you definitely inflict your damage. Ah, that's what I'm looking for. Alright, so your blast goes off. And give your GM a moment. He has to do some magic behind the scenes.
Are they dead?
All right, so you blast it and you take out just a very large amount of birds, but now there's 2 smaller swarms that are now there to deal with. Are you firing again?
No, I just want to see if I could add, and I can, so I can have a 2d6 as part of it. So I just for next time, just ignore that one.
All
was just a
right,
test.
so gotcha. All right, so that was Kriptk on a Joker. Ace, anyone got a 2? Or I'm sorry, a King. Again, King, Queen.
I've got the queen.
You got a Queen. All right, Ellis, what you doing?
What's the environment around? Is that just like flat
You
lands
are in
or
a
mostly
forest.
in a forest?
Yep.
Okay. Well, Alice will just call
You're
back
on the
to.
trail.
Alice will call back and just say, "I'm gonna see if I can find some cover in the trees." So he's going to roll stealth to try and
Okay.
get the mountaineer into some cover to
All right,
make it a bit harder to.
First, give me a driving roll. This is pretty thick forest, so give it to me with like a -2.
Yeah, -2. Right. No, that's a 3. Or yeah, 3 is not a success, is it? Or is a success, right?
4 is a success, yes.
Okay, so that's not a success.
That is not a success, so that is a loss of control.
Okay.
People out of control. All right. So what has happened is you've plowed into some trees and whatnot. You are going for cover, and you wound up making yourself and everyone aboard vulnerable.
The exact opposite of what you wanted.
Yes, exactly. Well done.
I also
So, yeah.
Well, at
What's
least
that,
he's
Steve?
stationary now, so it's easier for Ripper to get a shot.
Yep. But you would have
Yeah.
moved to have done that. So go ahead and move the mountaineer.
Okay, so how far can the mountaineer go is the question.
The mountaineer can go up to 12 inches or 12 squares basically, without
Okay.
having to do a drive roll. If you
Mhm.
go beyond that, then you have to start doing a roll.
Okay. So basically 12 will probably be to about there. So
No, that's 24 yards. Oh, yeah.
24, so that's...
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yep.
Yeah.
24 yards. That'd be
Yeah,
correct.
so that's... we'll just
Basically,
go.
you came to the first turn and just kind of plowed into the trees,
Yeah.
and you're like, "We're gonna go." Oh nope, we are stuck.
No, it's like the scene in like Cars where McQueen tries to turn on dirt and just goes straight forward. Just
All right, fair. All right, so let's see. So that was Queen, Jack, 10, 9, 8,
I had
7.
actually.
Oh, what's that? Oh, you had a.
I had a Queen of Hearts. Yeah,
Oh, okay. My apologies.
that's
We're
okay.
both on Queens.
Yeah. And I'm near an Upper Queens Street. Okay, so that's a big
We
swarm.
better move ourselves with the Mountaineer. We're gonna grab ourselves.
Yep.
You can if you want.
Okay. I'm going to move. Well, I'm going to be about here. Put them out.
Yeah, you're with
you're
the
in
Mountaineer. Yeah,
so-
you're in the Mountaineer, so anything from the Mountaineer.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Then how effective? Like, would I know how effective the main gun from the Mountaineer would be against these birds?
It's of probably limited use. I mean, it would still be effective. Because let's see, what did you put on it for a weapon?
Laser, I think it was.
A laser. Yeah, the laser would not be super great. Because you can shoot through and maybe get a few of the birds.
Yeah, medium laser, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm trying to find. Oh, that's where my weapons are and stuff. All right. I didn't scroll down enough. Okay, because the other things that I have are things like.
Remember, you can
an
use your
ion
skills in
pistol.
an out-of-box way.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
Ultimately, what it means with the laser is that you could inflict a minimum of like one wound, kind of thing.
So would it be better if I use something like, because the only other thing that I have is like ion pistol and the laser rifle.
The ion pistol, if you got close, if you get within that like short range of that, it hits a little bit more of a spread, so that could work.
Okay. So
Basically, hold an action until they get closer.
Yeah.
You want to?
Yeah, actually.
Or
that
you can take pot
seems
shots
better.
with the vehicle weapon.
I think when they get closer would be the better idea because they're. I think the shortest range that I have that be where I do 3d8, right?
Yep.
Is 10,
Yes.
about 10 yards.
Yep.
And Alice is not a ranged fighter either. So.
Although they're within 20, so it wouldn't take long for them to.
Yep.
Hold on, I'm just checking to see if I put myself there, would I be in short range? Not really. Well, because I'm looking at it and it's like I'm sort of 5 squares
Yeah,
away
you're
from
close
them.
enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll put
give it.
myself there and then I'll fire with it.
Okay.
Shooting out the window.
I went around
Yeah.
to the other side of the window and just kind of shooting them.
All right, so that's gonna hit. And look at that. All right, so.
And now that was supposed to roll attack and damage, but I don't see my damage in there.
Yep, your damage is.
Yeah, you have to
Oh,
roll
you can
damage
just click
first.
the button to roll damage. That'll work.
Sorry, which button?
If
There's
you
a
check
roll
the
damage
chat
button.
menu, there's roll damage. You can just click that button.
Oh, okay, yeah. Which type?
So you don't have to calculate everything. It does it all itself.
But it will roll 3d8 when I click this, right?
It should, yeah.
Everything's set up.
Yeah,
Well, that's
roll
2d8.
2d8. Just roll
That's
another
weird.
d8.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, so 18.
So 18. Actually, you get the 4 as well. So
Oh,
22.
okay.
Yep. And
Nice.
okay. So yeah, you blast it with your ion pistol at close range, and much like before, it splits into two swarms that are smaller. But you took out a bunch of them. It is Planck's turn,
A
and
laughing dog for us.
and Planck will go fire. He'll fire the laser on the Mountaineer because why not? What could go wrong? Shooting the laser.
Don't say that to the coalition grunt with the plasma rifle in the last few games. In the game too crazy.
I don't know what you're talking about. He was fine. It definitely didn't explode and incinerate himself. All right, see, Planck hits, you know, and on that thing. Okay, it's 3d10. I don't know why it's saying 3 strength plus 3d10. I'm like, it's Mountaineer. It doesn't have strength. All right. So he does 11. We'll say he shot, this one, and this one is going to drink a little bit more. As he gets a few birdies, and it is now the birds' time to go. Let's see how far they can move. Okay. Let's see if it can push itself to get a little further. Oh, you're just nuts. Oh. Rob.
So swarms move slow, is what I'm saying.
These are. I mean, it's a pace of 10. It's still faster than most of you. Not all of you, but most of you. Yeah. But yes, they can definitely move slow. Actually, this one pushes it, and they are in contact with the vehicle. But I'll say, Ripper, you are just outside, like, the swarm. All right, so that was them. And since there was a Joker played out, we recall everything. And we shuffle. And we're going to redeal. Now, Jane, if you look at your name down towards the bottom on the Roll20, there should be like a little card symbol with a 1 on it. If you click on that, that'll show you the card that you got dealt.
Joker. Am I muted? No, I'm not. I got a Joker.
Nice.
Nice.
Lavender.
All right. So cool thing with Jokers in Savage Worlds, because it's 3 things. Number 1, you can play a Joker at any time that you want to take your action. So you can wait until like the enemy moves or whatever, and play it and do something to interrupt them. The second thing is that you get a +2 to all of your rolls on that on whatever you decide to do for that turn. And the third thing is that when you play that Joker, everybody gets another Benny. So, so Jokers are super cool. But then after the round that a Joker's played, we recall the cards and we shuffle and redeal. Make sense?
I've got a fun looking card.
Okay. All right. So, Ace, King, Queen, Jack.
Yep.
All right.
I just want to put this on the table because I just like have a look at that.
I don't see it.
It's a priest with a squirt gun.
There you go.
Priest with a squirt gun.
Yeah, you go in vampire hunting, you need squirt guns. By the way, that's a legit thing in RIFTS. You can absolutely buy squirt guns for fighting vampires.
Probably filled with holy water, I was thinking.
I actually have
regular
a
water.
squirt gun next to me.
Okay, so seeing as this swarm is in contact with the mountaineer, Alice is going to use one of his quote-unquote new abilities.
Okay.
And which is integral weapons, integral weapons.
Integrated weapon system. Yeah.
Integrated weapon systems, which take the form of basically an oversized scalpel.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just going to slash at the birds.
Well, aren't you still in the Mountaineer?
Yeah, he's going to slash them out the window.
Are you going to open the window to let? Okay.
Eh.
Okay. This will go well. All right, let's do it.
Oh my god.
We'll just use the vibro knife.
Yep.
I will.
All right. That's
can I spend a
big
Benny
old-
to re-roll that?
Yeah, you can
'Cause I've got
absolutely
plenty
spend a
of
Benny
bennies.
to re-roll that. Let me pull the birds up here. And because it's melee, you have to get higher than their parry value. There's a lot of
Okay.
birds. And now you've opened the window. Well, I suppose the windows, a lot of the doors and windows are already open, so.
Yeah. So I'll drop a Benny down on this screen, re-roll that.
Yep, just reroll. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a success, but not sure if it's...
Well, it isn't,
parry.
though. You need to beat their parry value, which is a 7. So you're like, birds are fast!
As it turns out.
Yeah. And I will say this, though, Ellis, because you are someone that has a bonus to notice that, like, you really can't not notice certain things.
Yeah.
And you are a bot, and you function kind of fast. You do observe that some of these birds don't look right. You're not sure, but they appear. Some of them have more like insect wings instead of bird wings. Some of them have mandibles. They look wrong, and it's not all of. It's not like each one. Each one is, it seems to be somewhat mutated a little bit in a way from what you're seeing.
Okay.
So yeah, you're like, yeah, and miss.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think it was probably more be a flail from Alice, seeing as he's not a real swordsman.
No, he's not. Nope. He has not become a sword master. All right. So that was Jack.
I will jump in on the Jack and shoot at the swarm closest to.
Sure. Go ahead and do your shoot. And you get +2 to your roll. It should ask you for a modifier. If there's a modifier, you can just add +2 at that point.
Okay. Pistol. Where are you? There you are.
All right. That is a hit. That's a hit with the raise, so that'll get some extra damage.
Yep. I don't think it took the +2.
Let me take a look.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it probably didn't. So yeah. So actually, that's an 11, which is still just a hit with a raise. But that what that means is that when you roll damage, you'll get to add the damage from your where it says group crit check. When you roll damage, you get to add that damage in.
Oh, okay, cool. Cool. All right, and now my damage.
Like roll damage, or do 3d8.
Yep,
probably just easier right now to do 3d8.
My God!
Wow! Holy! Wow.
And that was the group that was in front of me.
Yeah. That's a 51 altogether. That is nuts.
Wow. Well, that tracks that the pistols always seem to do more damage than rocket launchers.
Pistols have been absolutely devastatingly lethal in this game so far. It's pretty wild. That is a lot. We're gonna.
I'm looking at it going, what's my best option? Yes. Shoot it with a pistol that suddenly becomes...
All right, and it is now a much smaller swarm. It's like just a cloud of birds just vaporizes as this ion pistol just annihilates them. That's
so ridiculous.
That's great. I love it. All right. Oh, and everybody gets a Benny.
Yep, because we spent a Joker.
All right.
Ripper just looks at the gun and goes,
more impressive than you thought it was going to be. All right. So that was Jack 10, 9, 8.
Kriptk is a
7. 3. Kriptk is a 3? Okay. All right. So Planck will... it's Planck's action. He is... Let's see. What would Planck be? Okay, Planck could be screaming to close the doors. So he is going to start... He's going to spend his turn closing, resealing the vehicle, except where Ellis is. Yeah, that and
I mean, Alice would probably moved out of the way after he failing.
You'll let Planck close the window.
Yeah, close the window.
You don't want to keep your arm out there and go, eh.
And because I know Brad, I can hear already in my head that he'll be like, "What were you thinking? Close the window." I can hear it. He lives in my head, and
rent free.
Yeah, pretty much so. All right, so that's what Planck does, and then what we've got next is so Kriptk. You said you have a 3. I also have a 3. What suit is yours?
Mine is diamonds.
Yours is diamonds? All right. I have spades. So I go first because it's reverse alphabetical if it's a tie. So, bird swarm. All right. So, let's see. They're just going to move up here on you. Okay, so what this means is that so now the birds are going to attack, and the birds are a swarm, so they just kind of inflict damage. And it is and they start ramming into throwing themselves, but also spitting some sort of nasty secretion from their mouths at the Mountaineer, and also Ripper. So, because Ripper, you're in this as well. So, let's see. All right, so that's only going to be the 6 points, which isn't going to do anything to anybody, because I know what everyone has for armor and toughness. So you're good there. Oh. But that 11 doesn't count because they're just swarms and extras. And one more. Yeah, nothing. You're just getting pelted with these birds and all this acid and everything. But it's scoring your vehicle and your armor and stuff, but it's not
a paint
inflicting
job.
any damage. Yeah, but it is
Spent
disturbing.
$3,000 on this paint job.
And yeah. Okay. So that was that. Gordo, it is your turn.
Okay. I think Kriptk is still. He's still inside the Mountaineer. He's by whatever window he leaned out the first time. He will lean back out again and let off a bolt this time, trying to take out some of the closer bird.
Okay.
And this will be with the +2 power points to do an extra die 6 of damage. So it'll be the 3d6 version of this. It's a possible raid.
Yeah. Well, with the raise, you'll get the bonus damage. So yeah, so 16 altogether. All right.
Yep.
And which one? What's that?
No, that's right. The 16 points altogether is to the, I guess, the swarm to our south there that would be closest to where
This
Kriptk
one?
is sitting.
Okay. All right. It shrinks a little bit. All right. And since there is a Joker played, recall and redeal. Oh, hang on.
My Joker looked really cool. It was a skull with like a clown, or the
Yeah, these are the Savage Worlds ones. They're pretty neat.
I haven't got a Joker yet for some reason.
All right. See what we got.
I got an ace.
You got an ace. All right. Anyone else get an ace?
Nope.
So,
All right.
looks
Anyone
like
get a Joker?
clubs.
Okay. All right. So ace goes first.
Cool. Let's see what I can do with that magic pistol again.
Sure.
I'm gonna be aiming at the larger swarm instead of the bigger one.
The bigger go home.
That will hit
Yes.
barely, but it will hit. Keen is still enough. It does some damage. Let's see. Get some more. They're shrinking.
Happy with
All
that?
right. Yeah. So that was an ace. Let's see who's left. All right. Ace, king, queen, jack. 10, 9, 8, 7.
Kriptk is an 8.
Okay. Yeah, Kriptk's an 8, you said?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
So now, if I were to spend a Benny to get back some power points, does that count as an action, or is that just occur?
No, you can. That just occurs.
Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to spend a Benny and get 5 power points back,
All right.
and then I'll go ahead and use the bolt again to that same swarm.
Okay. wild die
I'll take
give you a
one.
nice. Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay, so this will be the extra d6.
So is that 19? All, is that all of it?
19. I believe so. 19 total. Yeah.
Okay. All right. The bolt's doing some work. All right. And let's see here. So you were 8, 7, 6.
I got 6.
All right.
So Alice will probably use a free action to just say, "Are we turtling or are we running?"
Okay.
So free action basically asking the
Mhm.
party to see if they want to keep moving or try and hunker down as best as possible.
Okay.
So, what does the party think?
Well, they can respond on their action.
Right.
Oh,
So, what would you like to do with your action?
well, thing is, I'm not sure what I would roll to do it, but is it possible to ram the swarm?
It would be a drive test.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could attempt to do so.
Or at least get the mountaineer out of where it's currently stuck, but
Oh, sure.
and possibly
Absolutely.
running into some birds in the process.
Sure.
The drive test.
I mean, they're birds, but
That's a success, just.
It is. Yep. You get it unstuck. You don't. You don't really catch many birds, so it really doesn't do much. But you're free. You're unstuck.
Well, we're unstuck, so I can drive if need be now. So.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So then, let's see. So you're a 6, 5. Bird's turn. And they're just gonna start. Yeah, just being swarmed. But the good news, Ripper, is that one swarm is just all on you. So, because you got out of the boat, and that's
all right, yeah. Just one whole swarm, huh?
yep. They're just flying around, running into you, and yep, spitting on you. It's wonderful. Just the bath you never wanted. All right. So the mountaineer.
Organics are disgusting.
Ooh. It almost. It did. They did some. Well, they didn't do any damage, but they've definitely left some marks on the hull of your mountaineer. You've got some serious like gouges and scrapes on it now. Yeah, and yeah. Okay. Just imagine if you just had hover bikes.
Yeah.
All right.
I've seen Star Wars. I know how that turns out.
All right, and then all that's left is Planck, and he's like, he'll tell you to drive.
Okay.
All right, and no jokers were dealt, correct?
Nope.
Yep, correct.
Well, not nearly.
All right. So then, everyone's gonna get more cards. Just be sure to keep it different from your previous card, of course. All right. Anybody got an ace or a joker that they want to play right away? Nope. Okay. King. Birds have a king.
Ooh.
The king of birds.
Cool.
All right.
Three-eyed raven.
Ooh. Ooh. All right. So Ripper, you get hit. You may take some damage this time.
Looks like 2.
Well, it we'll see. So this is going to take into account your armor and all of that. We'll see whether you're shaken or not. So let's take a look.
Androids can't be shaken, can they?
Oh, I didn't realize it had an AP 6. That changes things. All right. So Ripper, you are going to take. That is going to be 2 wounds. That is an ouchie ouchie.
Mm-hmm.
So you will take 2 wounds, and on top of that, this is mega damage like acid and whatnot. So you actually have to do. I'm gonna roll you an injury. Ugh! You have battered guts. You so your vigor will reduce down to reduce to a die type until you can get patched up.
There we go.
You're like, haha, birds doing nothing. Ow, God, jeez. The birds got serious all of a sudden. They're mad.
Starting to spark a little bit.
Right? Okay. And then, no. All right. So that was it for all the birds. All right, anybody got a queen?
I got a queen.
All right.
Okay, so
Ripper is still not on the
Yes.
vehicle.
so Planck said to move, so Alice is going to move the Mountaineer,
Okay.
possibly through the birds, if possible.
All right.
So we'll try to do another driving test.
Sure.
Close.
Yeah. Now, which way are you going? Are you going along the trail, or are you going further into the forest?
I'm going along the trail.
Okay.
So at the last turn, Alice was doing a 3-point turn
Okay. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the middle of the swamp,
All right. So
trying
now
not to
you
hit
can
Ripper.
now with that you can move 12 inches with that successful driving roll. You could move up to 24, so up to 24 squares, or what, 48 yards.
I think he'll only go. Yeah. I think he'll only. Yeah.
So he doesn't have to do another.
Because I don't want to
driving
leave
test
Ripper
on this turn?
behind too much. That's the thing.
Sure. Yeah.
So
All right. Are you able to move the Mountaineer? Or do I need to move it for you?
no, I can move it. I just so. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 there. We'll say. So we'll only move slightly out of the main
Yeah.
bit of the swarm,
Yeah.
but far enough that
Okay.
Ripper can catch up
Okay. Sure.
if he wants to jump back in.
All right. All right. So that was a queen. Jack. 10. 10 is Planck. Planck will fire at a swarm as effectively as Planck often does, I'm sure. Hey, he got a hit. We're just gonna do 3d10 for 18. 1, 2, 3. All right, so this one go down. That swarm is almost gone. And all right, so 9. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
4 for Kriptk.
3.
Oh, sorry, 5.
Okay. Okay.
I
All right.
zoned out a little bit. I'm on 5.
All right. All right. Go ahead, Ripper, and then Gordo, you'll be on deck.
I will. I say that the party bus is moving. I'm gonna get on the bus.
Okay. Fair.
Eh.
Now, did you want to close the door, or do you want to shoot and leave the door open?
As long as I can hang on inside, I will try to shoot them as much as I can.
Okay. Sure.
Let's see. There's that swarm in front of me. Let's shoot them.
Oh.
And no.
Yeah, it's hard to shoot when you're all busted up. Okay. All right, so then that goes to Kriptk.
Okay, he'll keep doing the augmented bolt. He'll shoot again.
All right. Sure you don't want to use your new guns? No. All right. Well, that's
Okay.
it.
So it does a 3d6.
Yep. All right. Which one was that on?
The
That one?
All
right. All right. That swarm is almost gone. There's just a few birdies left in that one. All right. And again, no jokers. So.
I finally got a joker. Yay.
Huzzah! All right. Who's up? So anyone got an ace or a joker that they want to play right away?
Could Alice use his joker right away to toss over a repair kit for a Ripper?
You could. Also keep in mind though, if you playing a joker gives you a +2 to your rolls. If you wanted to drive, you could do that.
Well, seeing that when Ripper got in,
Mm-hmm.
he was sparking pretty badly. Alice would probably be more focused on
Okay.
getting Ripper fixed, but he's concentrating on driving, so he looks over to Wilhelm and just says, "You're up," and tosses down a repair kit.
Mm-hmm. Planck has one.
Oh, he does?
Yep.
I was assuming he would, but yeah.
He'll just be like,
yeah. Okay. So in that case, what will Alice do? Because I'm pretty sure Planck will try and get Ripper back in the game. So what can he do? Not much. Let's see what he can do. Do another driving test, I think.
okay.
See if we can get.
Now, if you just want to go 12 yard or 12 squares, you don't have to do a driving test. If you want to go faster than that, or you want to do something more elaborate, then you need a driving test.
Hold on, you have the Joker, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
if you jump in on me? I have the King, and I could at least shoot one of the swarms, or at least try to before you drive off.
Okay, then we'll do that. So, yeah, we'll have Ripper go, and then once Ripper's taken a shot off, and then Alice is going to get the app out of dodge.
Sounds good. Okay.
Okay.
I will do that. Yeah, no.
Okay, fair.
No.
Kriptk has the. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say
Try and use the
Kriptk
penny.
has a king of clubs, so he would use another bolt after. But anyway, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine. I had the king of spades, so we can we can all go on the same round.
And actually, Planck has a king of diamonds, so.
Okay. So after everybody's gone, then
Yeah.
I think. Okay, that sounds good. After everyone's taken a shot.
Mm-hmm. Let's definitely get a raise. Ooh.
So it looks like 21 points of damage total.
All right, same swarm.
Yep.
All right. And that swarm is gone. Hooray!
I have to step away for just a second. I'll be back in a minute.
Yep. All right. So that was that, and Planck will kneel down by Ripper. He's gonna reach over and close the door, and he'll start assessing the wounds. But he won't be able to do anything really much on it this time. But that's okay. And now, Ellis may go.
Okay. So Alice will do a driving test to see how far away he can get.
Okay.
And get the F out of dodge if he can. And he heals again.
Would you like to spend a penny to re-roll?
I think I will spend a penny to reroll. Seeing as it's a Joker, so I get a penny anyway. So.
Now, is that actually? Hang on. Is that taking into account your +2 for all your checks?
No, it isn't.
Okay, so you actually would have had a success.
Okay, so I put it down a penny anyway, but so
I mean, you could re-roll if you want.
I'll reroll. We'll see what happens. See if I can get a crit. Yeah, well, that is better than a plus with the +2, so that'd be 6.
Still not a raise, but it's good enough.
Yeah, still not.
You can do your movement.
Yeah, so that was 24.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it doesn't need to be in a straight line. It's 24 inches of movement. So.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's... There we go.
All right.
24 squares down there.
Okay. Now, what I will say at this point is that they can't catch up to you. So if you would like to leave this combat, we may do so.
I would say I leave the combat, but I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Where's the party thing? Gordo is away, so what do you think? Would Ripper want to keep fighting?
I would prefer to be repaired.
What was that? I didn't quite catch it.
Sorry. I would prefer to be repaired.
Okay, so getting the F out of Dodge, I think, is the consensus.
Yeah, I know Planck would be in favor of that.
Yeah, so he can work a little bit easier. I'm not under the stress of being bumped around so much.
Yeah. Congratulations, we're gonna move back to the overland map.
Mm-hmm.
And get y'all moved back over there.
And
hooray! You survived. You're all like,
Hey.
"Oh, look at the silly birdies," and then someone got messed up. That's awesome.
Fortunately, we've got the repairer here, right, attending to Ripper. So,
Yep.
what does Planck do in health-wise?
I'm sorry. What?
What does Planck do health-wise for Ripper?
It's basically gonna be the same as a medicine check or a
Yeah.
healing check for you, but so it'll restore the same amount. There's a -2 for each of the wounds, or I'm sorry, a -1 for each of the wounds, and then yeah. So let me do his repair roll. Shouldn't be a problem. Yep. And then so success nets back 1 wound. A raise in each additional raise nets back an additional wound. So you're fixed up. It takes probably about an hour or so, uh, and once you've gotten like far enough away, or when you feel perhaps safe, you take the time to do that, so you're not bouncing all over the place because the road is still pretty rough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They have a little pit stop when it's somewhat safe.
Yeah.
So that means Ripper is up to full again, or?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ripper should be at full health.
Good.
Yep. So it says that I am shaken. How does one become unshaken?
You're unshaken. Ordinarily, you can either spend a Benny to unshake automatically, or you can do a vigor test, I believe, to unshake at the start of like each of your turns.
Question.
Speaking of,
Isn't androids immune to shaken?
They get a bonus to it.
Oh, bonus.
They get a
Okay.
+2. Yep.
Okay. So they can still be shaken, but it's the hardest to shake them.
Yep.
yeah. Now, does my vigor go back up to normal now that I don't have the wounds, or is that still down?
Yep. Yep. Your vigor will be restored back up.
Okay, so it's a D8 again.
Yep. All right. Well, I see it is pretty close to 10 o'clock. I think this might be a good spot to stop and take a little break.
Yeah.
That's cool with
Just
everyone.
as Gordo gets back.
Yeah, probably.
That would be right.
Yep. And as a matter of fact, I see him there. So yeah, that's perfect.
He gets back and then drops.
Okay, we'll try to solve that too. All right. Okay. So I guess we'll be back in 5 if that's cool with our person behind the scenes. All right. All right. Drink some water. We'll see y'all in a little bit.
Yep.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We're here with Slices and Dices, playing some Savage Rifts, coming back off our break, and you've escaped the swarm of angry birds. For instance, angry
We didn't
birds.
steal
I
their
feel bad
eggs.
about myself. And you continued on your way to Valiant Town. You did stop for a little bit of a pit stop to patch up Ripper, but you are closing in now on Valiant Town, or on Valiant, the town of Valiant. So as you're closing, the trees kind of open up into this big plain. Uh, Go away notifications. And it's kind of surprising. Like you're seeing signs of civilization. There's irrigated crop fields. There's you can see that there's maybe like little farmsteads here or there, and then kind of ahead of you on the road, you can see this concrete wall, probably about maybe 5 meters tall or so, and it seems to surround an area. And you can see in the middle of it there is like a tower, and it looks like there maybe is like an antenna or something on top of it, and probably hard to say at this distance, but some sort of gun um, that looks like it would be possibly used for town defense. But the road leads right up to a gate. And yeah, you can cruise on in if you'd like, or you can stop and go in on foot, whatever you'd prefer.
Yeah.
You cut out, Gordo.
No, can you hear me?
Yep.
I was going to say, I don't think Kriptk would want to leave the vehicle unattended outside of town. He'd want to take it in with us.
Yeah, it was expensive.
So you kind of cruise into town. How far are you going in the vehicle? Like you get past the wall, and there's like they actually have like an inner moat on the inside of the wall, and it's covered with like a grating all the way around. Um, you're guessing it's for like keeping animals from wandering out and that sort of thing, or stuff from wandering in, what have you. Kind of like they have certain highways where they have that kind of stuff so that animals don't cross there, kind of thing. Um, so yeah, Kriptk. One thing that immediately kind of catches your attention is that you can sense the presence of ley lines. Um, they're they're distant, but there's multiple ley lines, maybe even a nexus in the distance. Um, and then you're like, well, okay, I feel that I sense that they're there, but there's also just something about just the atmosphere here. It's off-putting. You can't put your finger on it, but there's just something that feels magically off. Um, it's not really enough that you can tap into it and use it, but definitely, indicates that something is up, or something is off.
So I think it would probably try to detect arcana and see if he can locate any nearby sources
Okay,
of magic.
sure. Give me a roll. All right. You kind of, excuse me. Uh, so you kind of cast out your senses. You're looking with your. I think your eyes glow blue when you do this, right? Okay. So you're looking out, and you don't see like a specific source. It's just there's like a very like low level glow to your arcane senses in the whole area. It's almost like being in a haze of magic almost.
But this doesn't appear to be a nexus itself. It's just some sort of residual.
Yep. Some sort of residual or something. You're not sure. Um, as you're cruising in, you do see that there appears to be what you think might be a church. Looks like there is another building that might be a town hall. Looks like there's a saloon, possibly an inn. Pretty much none of the buildings, except like the inn, is more than a story tall. You would guess that's probably for just keeping line of sight clear for the laser turret. Because as you get closer, you do see it's a laser cannon up on top of the tower. Um, and yeah, as you're kind of pulling into town, you can see up ahead uh, that there's a bunch of people standing in what looks like possibly the cemetery by the church.
How tall are the walls?
Like I said, the walls are probably about 5 meters tall.
Okay. And I have one more question.
Sure.
Since we were attacked by mutant birds, would I put two and two together to be like, that's what probably killed the bear?
It's possibly. It's a possibility.
Okay.
And the coalition states again they don't like magic, right? Or people that use magic.
Correct. Very much so. They, matter of fact, not too long ago, wiped out an entire city because they were magic users, and they currently have kind of an ongoing war with the Federation of Magic um, about that sort of thing. So yes, the coalition not a fan of magic.
And so Kriptk will know to lay low then.
Yep. Well, this is not necessarily a coalition town. This is a place that is in between, so to speak. It does have ties to both the Tomorrow Legion, but it is also close to the coalition state of Lone Star. if anybody wants to give me a common knowledge roll, I can give you some info on Lone Star.
I'll assist with anybody rolling.
Yeah, we say Alice is probably not going to roll common knowledge because this is a new place for him, so
It is.
he
All
doesn't
right.
know crap about it.
Okay. All right. So between the two of you, you know that that Lone Star is kind of considered the birthplace, if you will, of the Psy Hounds, or the Dog Boys, as they're known colloquially and commonly. Um, they uh, are made to basically help the coalition hunt magic users and psychics. The dogs are um, created to be loyal because man's best friend. They like to work with people, and they have their noses. They can literally smell psychic and magic using beings and the supernatural. So they're very useful to have around. So yeah, Lone Star. Lone Star is kind of like an R&D state almost. That's their primary thing, is research and development for the coalition. Not necessarily the war machines, but other types of research is primarily done at Lone Star. Are you continuing to roll up in your vehicle? Are you going to park it and approach on foot? What's the plan?
I vote we go as far as would be appropriate with the vehicle.
Does the vehicle make it obvious where we're from?
It doesn't, because the Tomorrow Legion doesn't have any specific insignia or colors or anything. Right now, there's actually somewhat low profile,
And the fact that they got the Mountaineer from Merktown, not Tomorrow Legion, so there aren't any logos on
Not
it.
to mention, most of the paint has been melted or scraped off at this point.
Yeah.
Just roll it up, and there's just birds stuck in the grill, and just feathers everywhere.
We tried to stick
not a
feathers
pretty
on to
sight.
make it fly. Didn't work.
Yeah. Planck will volunteer to stay with the Mountaineer to make sure nobody gets on.
Yeah. That makes sense. And probably Planck's probably more interested in trying to get it running tip top shape. Keep it running in tip top shape. So he's probably going to be repairing a little bit. Repairing
probably doing a little maintenance.
Body filler.
Which is actually another thing. You've been kind of driving hard for a while. So yeah, you'd want to do some maintenance on it. So you park and you get off, correct? Getting off everybody off the bus.
Yeah.
All right.
And Alice is in his quote unquote disguise.
Okay. All right. And so I got a question for you there, Red. Does Ellis look a little different now that he's upgraded a wee bit?
I don't think he's that much upgraded. He's probably got a few extra ports. But
yeah.
I mean, visually, he still looks pretty much the same. Still the same size.
Okay. Yeah. Just has a few extra bulges and ports.
Yeah. Basically.
Which sounds worse than it is.
He became
depending on where the bulges are.
Yeah, that's true. I would assume they're on the back, but
it looks like he's got a backpack now. Apparently,
it does. Yeah, that makes
sense. His new name is now Dora. Oh wait, wrong campaign. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, technically speaking, Alice is a non-binary creature, so he's either or.
Yeah, absolutely. So you get off the Mountaineer, and as you get down out of it, you can see that the people are they took notice of you, and they're kind of starting to disperse. you see, you see there's a woman with like pink hair peeking out of a. She's got a top hat and an eye patch, and she heads into what you would think is maybe the town hall. There's a. Give me a notice roll for this one. Those of you that are watching the people leave.
All of us, or just a couple of us?
Anyone that's watching the people disperse.
My wild dice was the same as my actual roll. Nice.
You think he's a taller blonde human. Looks and the person on the top hat appeared to be a human female. But the other guy heads towards the saloon, which is what's it called here? Let's see. The Dirty 30 Saloon.
What a
I
name.
didn't pick it. Yeah. I didn't pick it.
I wonder how many people are in there generally. I wonder if it's like
I don't
20.
know. 29. Always a big disappointment.
Average age.
And
Being
they're all
18.
clean. They're all clean. Very clean. It's the weirdest thing. And then there's also then there's a single man who appears to remain in the churchyard. Looks to be shoveling dirt into the grave. Dressed quite formally, properly. And then you also see that there's outside the saloon. There's a human who appears to be missing their legs from pretty much the waist down, and he's got like a black skull motif on his shoulders with some with like a series of numbers underneath it. So that's and then there's people that they walk past you and they just kind of might nod politely and then just kind of continue on. Looks like they might be farmers or whatnot, and they're heading home. So that's what you see.
Alice will be trying to hold him back to try and want to fix the man's legs with cybernetics because it's just like he needs cybernetics.
As a matter of fact,
he's trying to resist that urge.
Give me a spirit roll.
Oh,
Spirit. I don't
Yeah,
have spirit trained, so
this
that's
is kind of like because spirit's kind of like your willpower.
Okay, so that's just going to be unskilled because I'm not trained in spirit.
You can just roll the attribute.
Oh yeah, spirit is attribute. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Spirit D4.
Oh, that's what I like to see. That's what I count on Red. That's why I invite Red to games, because Red rolls crit fails for me.
Oh no.
So Red, what does this crit failure look like with Ellis and not resisting the temptation and curiosity?
Sorry, I've just got focus. I think the curiosity kills the cat, as the old saying goes, and he'll hover over and quote unquote kneel next to the legless man and just ask, so how did you lose those?
Hey, mind your own fucking business. Get out of here. Go. I don't need your kind around here. Weirdos floating places.
You need new legs? I can get you new legs.
I told you to leave me alone. You can attempt to persuade or an intimidation if you'd like to get this guy calmer.
You totally need intimidation. You will get new legs, and you're gonna like it.
Well, hindrances are mild mannered, so he can't really do intimidation. So I'm gonna try and do a persuasion because why the hell not?
Sure, yeah. He makes a rude gesture at you, and he's got like those little 4-wheeled cart kind of things that's just like a platform with four wheels. That's pretty much what he's on, and he just kind of scuttles off.
And then Alice will come back to the precipice and just like, well, you can't win them all.
That is true. That is very true.
So where are those rolls?
What a great series of fails. And Ripper kind of looks at you and goes, "It appears he did not want your offer. He seemed quite offended, really."
Yes, I found that out with these people around here. They don't really accept our kind.
I have learned that in a short period of time, but perhaps it would serve us all better if you resisted that urge.
It's probably going to be a bit harder. It's like telling you to not fire a weapon at somebody attacking us.
I don't have to fire a weapon to disable the person. We'll just say.
Either way, what were we doing here again?
Well, the reason you were sent to Valiantown is that you had gotten a transmission from them that let me tell you specifically what it said.
Yes. That they're
It was
being
very
attacked by
garbled.
Zitix. Yeah.
It said, "Sighted Zitix, Red River. Before it's too late, Valiant." Intermixed with lots of static and whatnot that I'm not going to reproduce today because it's sweaty, and that's my excuse.
So Kriptk goes over to our legless friend and says, "Please don't mind my friend. He needs to learn some boundaries. Where will we find whoever's in charge here?"
All right, roll me a persuade. Let's see if he'll talk to you.
Okay.
I see that Ripper rolled a persuade. Oh, so close. All right. He kind of calms down a little bit. I don't know about your weird ass friend over there. I don't really trust you either. You look like one of them magic users. If you want to talk to whoever's in charge, you go find the mayor.
Just over there, he points at the town hall building.
Yeah, top hat. Can't miss her.
Oh, thank you.
Now that you're closer, give me a common knowledge check there, Kriptk.
I mean, I put a common knowledge because that skull looks. Would that be common knowledge? Skull equals dead boy.
Yeah, you could have rolled that.
Yeah, for common knowledge.
Yeah.
Just for the
Sure.
lols.
Just for.
And I got no ones.
I'm gonna let you determine what Ellis has mistakenly interpreted. That's I'll let you do that. Kriptk, you know that that's probably his unit number, and he's probably ex-coalition. It's kind of odd, just because coalition usually does offer, at least from what you've heard, basic, cybernetic replacement for something like lost limbs or something like that. So if he's missing limbs and no longer part of the coalition, like, he did something bad or got drummed out in a bad way. So
Okay.
Alice just thinks he's into rebirth.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
A band?
As in, he wants to become a lich or something along those lines. I mean, that's
Sure.
what the skull means, but isn't it?
Clearly, he believes he's poison. That's the classic symbol. You know that from medical training. Skull and crossbones. That means dangerous. Don't drink or inhale. So, definitely.
Well, I mean, with that roll, he probably thinks it's a Jolly Roger.
He might be a pirate. He ran out of peg legs.
Land
Yeah, he has no peg legs.
All they had was hooks. Now I'm picturing it, and it's wrong, but it makes me kind of laugh. All right, moving on. Your GM being a terrible human being.
Ting, 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 ting.
Oh dear.
Where would you like to go?
Go to the town
Lead the
hall.
way. Roll a nose check now.
Let's go find Top Hat.
You remember
Alright.
that episode of The Simpsons where Abe Simpson's dancing with the potatoes on the fork? That's what I'm reminded of right now.
All right, so you head to the town hall, and you enter in, and well, you knock on the door, and this woman in a top hat answers. She's got an eye patch, pink hair. She's still wearing like a nice little black dress that she was clearly wearing to the funeral. She's young, surprisingly young for a human. Not like a kid, but probably in her like mid-20s, and she's mayor of the town. So yeah,
I assume we have a copy of the communique that we received, right?
sure.
So Kriptk will hold it up and say, looks like you all made a call. We're here to check it out.
She looks kind of confused, and she takes it. She's like, "May I?" She looks at
Yeah,
it.
hands
She's
over.
like, "Oh, oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Um, the saloon owner, Buck, he saw a Zittix like south of here, and he put out the call. A little bit impulsive, like they didn't attack or anything, but he got excited, you know. But yeah, he saw Zittix to the south, and you're like, that's not, you know, we hear those things are up north. We've never heard of them this far south, um, so you know, I mean, if you want to go check it out, just head south a few miles. He said that's where he saw it.
Is he generally a trustworthy sort? Doesn't imbibe in too many of his own products, huh?
Give me a persuade roll. All right. Yeah, no, Buck he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He doesn't usually, you know, drink too much of his own product, like you said. He's just gets a little excitable, you know. We don't see a lot of action around here. Uh, you know, we try to kind of lay low. We're pretty close to the coalition and stuff, but not really big fans of theirs. But you know, we are where we are, and we've got ley lines and nexus points and stuff not too far away from here, so we got to keep an eye on things. Um, but yeah, you know, might have been a little jumping the gun on it. But yeah, if you want to head south and check it out, I say go for it. Looks like you got, ooh, your ride looks. You might want to clean it.
We had a little bit of a pest problem on the way here, but nothing to worry about.
Cuts over to Planck cussing at trying to work
He's
off
like
all the
buffing it
stains.
out. Just for the visual of it, Planck is, you know, he's hosing it off. He's getting water on himself. It's like, yeah, it's like
Do
the
you want to
world's
talk?
worst car wash.
Do you want to talk to the saloon owner, or just head out to where they said the thing was?
Before we leave, Ripper's going to turn to the mayor and say, "I'm sorry we didn't get your name."
Oh, I'm Dahlia Sawyer, Mayor Sawyer. Welcome to Valiant. Not much to see. We just, as you saw, we just got done with the funeral. One of our farmers. Not sure what got him, but you know. So yeah, pretty sad day. I mean, we're a small community. Everyone's pretty close. So
Was there an autopsy done on his body?
no, we don't really have a like a. I mean, we've got some folks that can do a little bit of, you know, treating of wounds and stuff, but we don't have like a real mortician or anything like that. Someone that like a trained doctor or anything.
Did anyone take pictures of his body was found?
Nope. Didn't really think about it. Look, I've got some things I should probably get to. So I guess if you talk to Buck or head out south to check out whatever, but I should probably get going.
Does Ellis want to exhume the body to check it out, or ask if we can?
Ellis is. You're looking for Ellis, and I don't know. Give me a notice check. Let's see if you can spot an Ellis.
Oh God.
It's like, where's Waldo?
Okay. I might have.
So Ripper sees Ellis, but Kriptk, you're like, where did he go? Where did it go?
Did Ripper? Because she rolled under my stealth.
That's true, but she got the same number of successes as you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Alice is. I think the term is hiding in plain sight. Like he's trying to blend in as much as possible, and that's probably why Kriptk can't see him because he's trying to blend in. But Ripper, being an android, can spot him pretty easily because, well, I think Ripper can probably sense the EM signature or something.
Yeah, we'll say that. So what do I when I look over at him? What do I see?
Well, you see a cloaked figure because he's wearing his armored cloak. So, cloaked figure, hood up.
Okay. I just wondered if you had decided to go back over to the disgruntled man to offer him more legs.
Nah.
What if I gave you 4 legs?
Do you want to be a
4 I
spider?
apparently mean but
Or
4
6,
I apparently mean
or
8.
Think about it. You could crawl on walls. Okay. So as long as he didn't sneak off to try to.
He's still around the party. Like he's still within the earshot.
Okay. Well, they did say there's a body that needs to be examined, perhaps. Although, if you're going to attempt to talk the mayor into it, I will need a persuade roll.
Yeah, Alice is not into digging up graves, so he's not going to say anything.
I would probably think of Ripper is trained in investigation, and would likely think that this would probably be important because nobody took into account how they died. We don't know. Maybe that's the reason why nobody's noticed any of these things nearby. Because this unfortunate man was the person who noticed him was killed. So I will try persuasion.
Okay.
Wish me luck.
Well, like I do.
No. Ripper actually gets a success.
Oh.
And yeah. So how do you phrase it to the mayor?
Give me knowledge.
I look. Ripper will look towards the mayor and go, "It might be prudent to look at the body as quickly as possible. We have a medical expert with us. If we can determine how they died, this could be evidence to why we were called."
Come in here and bring your medical friend and close the door.
Okay.
Everyone going in and closing the door?
As I said, Alice is already with the party. It's just...
Yeah. Well,
He's
you're kind
just
of still in the doorway, so
yeah.
she's bringing you
He's
into the
doing the
town hall.
classic rogue thing of just brooding in the corner, essentially.
So she's like, "All right, so don't be alarmed." And I did not start this way. And she takes off her top hat, and she's got like antenna, like insect antenna coming up off the top of her head. And she flips over her eye patch, and one of her eyes is like a multifaceted like insect eye. Um, and she lets out a big sigh. About 3 months ago, there were storms that kind of swept through this area, and something changed. Um, it started with the cattle. Like we found some of them had human ears and things. And I mean, eh, it was so bizarre because like they instead of having hooves, it might have a human foot or a hand or something. So we didn't know if the meat was contaminated, so we stopped eating meat altogether. I mean, go to the saloon; they only have vegetarian. We don't eat any of the meat around here. We still raise a cattle though. But soon after, residents in the town started showing some signs and symptoms of things. Um, uh, it depends on what and where, but everyone in town's got mutations now, and we can all kind of feel each other. We can feel the cattle. We can feel the other animals in the area, like in our head. Um, and I haven't seen any Zitics directly, but I can tell you they're down south because we can feel. I think it's a hive or something, maybe a small hive down that way. Um, and plus, a lot of these mutations seem to be insect-like. So, I guess I don't know. And there's something. There's So the hive is to the south, but the nexus is further west, and there's some sort of mental presence there, and I don't know if the two things are connected or not. But we're not bad people or anything, but we just want to kind of lay low with this, especially being this close to the coalition. They come in here, they see these things, they're going to say we're DBs and start killing people or worse.
That
And
is
she
more than
stops,
likely.
and her antennas start to twitch. And she moves over to the window. And anybody looking out the window with her?
Sure.
Yep.
All right. You see about a half dozen figures in coalition armor surrounding the guy on the board outside the Dirty 30. She's like, "Oh no, what's the coalition doing here?" And she starts putting on her hat and putting her eye patch on and getting ready to go out and deal with the coalition. Just a moment.
They might have heard or intercepted the transmission that we received. It might be prudent for us to get started on an investigation.
Yep. And into the town, and I'm moving you onto the map here. So I'll give you some locations here. And let me also. Ba, ba, ba. I wasn't sure where you would all be coming in on, so I have you over there, but actually.
I see some dog boys.
You're actually all kind of more over this way, over on the other side of the map.
Which building? Which building is the town hall?
We're gonna say this is the town hall. Actually, yeah, that'll work. This building here is this is the tower structure. here in the middle. This is the church. The saloon is over here. And the mayor is that little person there. It was the only token I had that had a top hat. Had a dearth of top hat tokens. Feel bad. And then, actually, they are kind of gathered over here. You're all creative people. You can imagine that there is a person that they're gathered around over here on next to the saloon. All right. And you may arrange yourselves. You're just coming out of this building here. So go ahead and place yourselves. The mayor there.
Well, Planck's not there. For one.
That's right. Planck is not there. Well, we're going to put Planck way over here. He'll be way over here. And that. So, yeah.
Does it seem like the mayor is intending to go out and talk to these guys, or is she hanging back?
Nope, she's intending to go out and talk to these guys. She's coming down the stairs and coming on over. As you are kind of walking up on them, you see there's a what's clearly a Psi Stalker. Psi Stalkers are a mutant strain of human. They are basically hairless. Usually have some tattoos. This one is pale skinned. And Psi Stalkers are mutants that can sense and hunt and harm the supernatural. So they're kind of predatory towards supernatural creatures and beings. And the Coalition recruits them. They bond really well with dog boys. They have a very pack mentality kind of thing. And you see there's 4 dog boys in their armor. And then there's a one guy in heavy Coalition dead boy armor, the new style stuff. So it's kind of like white with some black, or black with like white trim and stuff. Much more rounded and molded kind of thing.
Similar to the lieutenant we had in like the first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And but this one, he's got stenciled on like the arm and the chest plate is ISS, which you guys rolled for knowledge about Coalition earlier. Stands for Internal Security Services Inspector, also known as Spectres. They are kind of the equivalent of like detectives for the Coalition. They're not necessarily like military force, more of a police force. Okay. Yeah, a little bit maybe. Where'd I put my water? There we go.
I mean, nobody expects them, so
that's true. And yeah. And the
No, I was going to say, I think Kriptk would kind of stay close, but behind the mayor, and see how her interaction goes. Yeah.
Yeah. You go ahead and place yourselves kind of however you want. As I read over this,
I'm going to have Alice just perch himself against the wall, make it look like he's leaning against it.
Okay. All right.
As I said, I'm going to continue with that.
Give me a stealth roll there, Ellis.
Can I continue with that? The stealth roll that I had?
No.
No.
Because there's new people on the board.
Okay. Let's see. Go stealth again. See if I can get 2 nat ones again. Close.
Yeah. Very nonchalantly. Very casually.
Like casual.
Yeah. Almost too casual. But like you just kind of you like try to lean back against the wall, but you've got extra bumps now, and you weren't quite expecting that, so you kind of make a bit of a racket doing that. Nothing terrible, but definitely not as quiet as you would have liked it, Ben.
I mean, leaning with hoverboard, kind of hard to do,
Yeah.
Kriptk just looks over at him and mouths the word smooth.
Ripper, what are you doing?
Ripper is going to move up next to Dr. Alice and kind of stand about there.
Okay.
And
Are you trying to be subtle in any way?
no, it's more just pointedly walking over because
Sure.
I'm gonna make it look like like Ripper intended to have a conversation with Dr. Ellis anyways.
Okay. All right. So as you all are kind of watching this unfold, you see the uh, the detective basically walks up to the guy on the cart, and he reaches down, and he's just very quiet. He's like, it's okay, son." And he like grabs the wrapping that the guy had around his waist and pulls it, and instead of like little like quite frankly leg nubs, he has like a bunch of little bug legs that are growing out of his waist. And uh, the inspector hands the cloth back to the guy. He's like, "Very well, that's what I thought." He's like, and he starts kind of looking around, and you notice that like the dog boys uh, and the Psy Soccer like immediately like zero in on Kriptk, like they look directly at you. Um, One of the dog boys growls a little bit, um, and the inspector just kind of walks down off the deck. He's like, "Ah, are you the mayor?" Calling out uh, to Mayor Sawyer. And what are you guys doing?
Um,
What are you?
Ripper is going to be at the ready just in case.
Okay.
And Alice is going to be just watching, but uh, I would say doing the old cowboy thing of just having your hand near a weapon, just in case something goes.
Sure.
Kriptk just glares at the dog boys and the other guy as he rolls up a hand rolled cigarette, lights a match on his teeth, and lights it and just starts smoking as he watches
Ooh. You know what? Give me an intimidation roll on that.
it. I've got nothing for intimidation. We see here.
I know. It's great.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, sure.
I forget. Do I roll for that first to see what my
Nope,
says
you just gain a D4 and a skill. So
Okay, this is our D6 with a raise, so I wasn't sure how that worked.
Yep.
But
Yeah, so you roll it, and if you get a raise, you get D6 instead.
I don't know why it says D6 to the raise. It's just
Yeah.
that's weird. Okay. Well, roll a D4.
okay, I'm gonna roll athletics to have a D4 in that.
All right. Yeah.
Success.
You're actually somewhat intimidating.
Cool.
I was hoping for you to crit fail on that so that you could be like, because I'm just picturing striking that match and you're just like, I ate the match,
Well, you're not me.
or get it
If
caught in
I
the
would do
teeth,
that,
you know? Yeah, pretty much.
Does Kriptk have a beard?
No, he doesn't. Yeah,
That might be the reason why he doesn't.
right. Burned it off a while ago.
Learn from
All
my
right.
mistakes.
So the mayor comes out here. The inspector comes up. And he approaches. He's like, "Yes, Mayor Sawyer, is it? I believe I heard the name mentioned when I entered town. Has there been any unusual things going on in town recently?" Any sightings of unusual creatures or anything of the like? And you can all overhear this conversation. He was like, nope, nope, quiet as can be around here. Nothing going on. As she lies through her teeth. So nothing out of the ordinary, aside from a man growing bug legs out of his well, out of his waist. Oh, that's just Silas. He, you know, just mutants. You know, what can you do? They're just born that way. Then the inspector's like, Mayor Sawyer, if you're going to lie to me, I would prefer that it be a convincing lie. That man is a former coalition soldier. He was not born that way. I do not know why he's here, probably a deserter or something, but if what you're telling me is that he now has insect legs, that is something of a concern. Did he come across anyone? I do apologize. I have not introduced myself. I am Inspector Dolan. I'm not here looking for DBs to exterminate or anything of the like. I'm not looking for mutants to kill. I am not even looking for rogue mages or the like. And he looks over at Kriptk. I am simply here trying to track a lead about some unusual goings on. Any unusual creatures or sightings of unusual creatures in the area? There's like, no.
I was just gonna, I was gonna say, but Alice wouldn't do it. But part of me wants to just say, your companions are the weirdest thing in this place. But Alice wouldn't say that.
No, Alice would not.
Kriptk just walks up kind of next to the mayor and takes a last puff, drops the cigarette in the ground, kind of crunches it down into the gravel with his boot there, and says, "Any problems here, Mayor?"
No, it's fine. This detective from the coalition is just asking about if anyone's seen anything unusual in town. And I told him that no, everything has been fine.
That should satisfy you, Inspector. Nothing unusual here. Everything is normal.
That way, then. I do know that my dog boys have told me that there is unusual activity near the Nexus, they believe. So I guess I will go and check over there then. Well, if you do spot anything unusual, please let me know. I'll take my leave then.
I assure you, you'll be the first one we call.
All right. And he motions with his hand, and they all depart. Or actually, as they're starting to depart, something happens.
That's when Ripper walks up next to Kriptk.
Oh, everything's frozen for a moment. Don't move. GM has to maneuver things into place.
Oh, okay.
All right. Because we're going to go into initiative as this 15-foot tall humanoid with let me see if I can show a picture of it to you all. Let's see. It is, yes, it's that. It'll have a name. Let's see.
Oh, that's big.
And John, I've lost you on my Zoom. I don't know if anyone else has, but
yeah.
Oh, hang on.
You're Your camera went down. Oh,
Yep. Yep, it's looking like Zoom crashed for me, so give me just a moment.
oh.
Yeah, fully crashed.
Mm.
So I'll be back in a minute as I wait for it to close.
While we're waiting for that, does Kriptk recognize a creature of this type? Know what it is, or
No, he does not.
It's a big old monster.
It is a big old monster. All right, still waiting for Zoom to close. Close program.
does the monster appear to be summoned by the CS guys, or are they equally surprised at its sudden appearance?
They appear just as surprised.
Kriptk goes, "Oh, Inspector, I've noticed something unusual."
I'd like to make a report. I'd like to make a report.
Is that unusual enough for you?
Now
It
that you mention it,
seems. It appears that your departure would be premature.
Come on. I'm just hoping it's not my webcam crashing, because then I usually have to like fully restart my
Yeah.
PC. Yeah, it's just being stubborn.
Computer says no. That always is a problem.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
I made a joke at the beginning that we would rise up, but you know.
I tell you.
What does it say that the two robotic characters haven't dropped yet?
I suspect shenanigans in evil.
Yet, that being said, I got on that once.
Yeah, I do appreciate that.
So that means what? Roll20 like dislikes robots, but Zoom likes robots apparently.
One of these is Skynet, the other one isn't.
One Skynet, the other's the rebels.
Do that. And let's see.
So we've got an enormous humanoid in front of us that is
Not happy?
probably hungry too.
It is very not happy. Yeah, because it's got like a tongue that like whipsaws out of its mouth. If you've seen like some of the like Precambrian creatures where they had like that like buzzsaw tongue, it's got that.
Reminds me of Slanesh Demonettes.
Yep. It's got an arm with tentacles coming out of it instead of a hand. Like I said, it's 15 feet tall. It's big and nasty looking. It's got spines all over itself.
Like
Yeah,
porcupine
just
spines, or
crashing. What's that?
like porcupine spines, or something different?
Kind of. Let's see here. Yes, so it's got not quite like porcupine spines, but not like a coat of them, but it has these spines, and that sort of thing. So, and it's got like the legs are not human; they're more, they're legs that would be built better for jumping. And I'm gesturing to the camera because I assume that it works, but it's not because Zoom will not restart for me.
No.
Yes. So
Did it just appear out of nowhere, or did it like come around the corner of the building?
it seemed to have leapt over the top of the like. You're guessing it was probably on the other side of the building, and it leapt over the rooftop of the building.
Gotcha.
Do you want to go on a quick break so we can fix up technical difficulties, or?
I'm okay with that if you guys are. It's
Yeah,
11 o'clock,
sure.
so I mean I can try to quickly reset all my stuff here.
Yeah. I mean,
Sounds good to me.
if that would work, technical
Yeah,
difficulties.
I can,
Break.
I
Yeah.
could go to the bathroom, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll take a very quick break. I'll be back just as soon as I can.
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
All right, sorry about that. We're back. Yay for technical difficulties. All right, so it looks like we're all reset. My background has changed. Just some artwork my daughter did. I always have to plug it because she's 11 and it's cool. All right, so so what we've got here is this big creature of some kind. It's got tentacles and spines and a creepy tongue, and it's about 15 feet tall. So yeah, or about 5 meters tall, roughly. So so we're gonna do some initiative because surprise, surprise, it appears to be violent.
No way.
Yeah,
Who would have
I
guessed?
know. I was surprised as well. I read it and I was like, really, it's going to be aggressive, huh? Never would
Who
have
was going to
thought.
be a very charismatic person? What is this?
You look so friendly.
It does look so
Combat?
friendly.
Combat in the
Combat?
Savage Rifts? Where is
No.
this coming from?
This doesn't happen.
Who could have
All
thought?
right. Who could have thunk it? All right. Let's see. Da, 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 da. You all get initiative card. I get 2 because I'll handle moving around the coalition folks. And, alrighty. Oh, it's even working now, so I can actually see what cards everyone has. So I see that red has a joker,
Yeah.
so
Ooh.
he can jump in whenever he likes. But top of the initiative would actually go to Kriptk.
Okay. Kriptk is going to attempt to. I mean, at this point, he knows that the CS guys know he's a magic user, so he's not going to try to hide it. He's going to cast stun on this thing and try to stun him.
Okay.
So yeah, he just sort of shoots the inspector a dirty look and then chants a few words and points his finger at this thing. And a blob of smoldering plasma streaks out toward the creature. Yeah, this is just the basic version.
Yep. And then, are you making it greater stun with mega power?
No, he's conserving. He's only got a few power points, so he just did a regular one.
So a vigor roll.
Mm-hmm.
But it is -2, correct? At -2 with a with a raise. Yes, because you had a raise on it. So so yeah, this thing it does fail, so it is stunned. Now, interesting note. If you click on the top of your character sheets, if you click on the little sword icon on the upper right, it gives you a bunch of different options for what you can do in combat, but it also has things like various effects, like I'm stunned. What does that mean? So stun means I'm distracted until I recover. It falls prone, can't move or take actions, and that sort of thing. And it's subject to the drop. That's really good. So that was awesome.
Yeah, so the blob of plasma hits him right square between the eyes, and he topples over backwards, writhing on the ground.
All right. Okay, so so anyone attacking it this round gets the drop on it, which is +4 to your attack roll, +4 to damage, and if you cause it to be shaken or wounded, it must do a vigor roll or be knocked out. So yeah, well done.
Nice.
All right. So that was Kriptk. And then we have so next up would be Ripper.
Okay. Ripper is going to pull out their, where is it? Their NGL5 laser rifle.
Nice.
And the way it fell over, am I still able to try and shoot at its head?
Yes, you can. Shooting at the head though, you'll take a -4 penalty just because it's a smaller target. Actually, because it's 15 feet tall, I'm gonna say the head's only a -2. It's a pretty big head.
Okay.
Big
So I
target.
still get I still got a +2 to
Yep.
hit with my rifle.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Okay. Then let's do it. Ooh,
Nice.
that's a
That is
13.
Yeah, that's a 13. That'll hit. Roll your damage.
D6. Yes.
That's a +4. Is that right?
Yep. All right. Now you can spend a Benny to reroll damage. Would you like to reroll damage?
Yes. Now, how do I just take the Benny
You just
token off and
Yep.
put it in the
Yeah, you can
pile
just
over
throw
on
it
the
on.
side?
You can just drag it onto the table. If you click it, it'll open up, and then you can just kind of drag it out there.
Yeah, it's. I'm trying to. It doesn't seem like it's going over.
I'll just steal it.
Okay.
That works.
There.
All
Perfect.
right. There you go. Bonk.
Reroll.
All right, and then reroll damage.
Oof.
Wow.
Nice.
That
Nice.
is 20, 32.
Yep. 32. All right, so let's do some wound calculation. 32. What's the armor piercing on your weapon? The AP value.
2.
2. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Ooh. Success with 3 raises. Woof. It's not dead,
Mhm.
but it is quite injured. And then I think I have to do a. All right. And so, yeah.
Can I drop
Okay.
in with a joker there?
All right.
After Ripper has taken a shot, Alice is going to finish off what he was going or trying to replicate, and because his hand was right near his weapon, he's going to do that old cowboy thing and take a shot, even though
Okay.
he's unskilled in shooting. But you said it's a
Okay.
+4, right?
Yep.
Yes, unskilled
So
in
it's still a
shooting.
D4 plus 2.
Yes, D4 +2 for shooting. So
Doesn't the Joker give him an
yeah,
additional?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
got the
And a plus 2 for that. So it's a D4 plus 4.
yes. So I'll just say I'll just do an unskilled +6.
Oh, because you've got something that helps with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't have a because it's +2 from the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Plus 4 from the drop. Yep.
plus-
But -2 because you're unskilled.
yes, exactly. And I'm doing an unskilled roll, which is automatically deducted, so
Gotcha.
it's going to be a
Gotcha.
+4.
Okay.
So a 6. So that's still a success.
That is still a success.
Yes.
So that will hit. Roll your damage.
Yeah. So I should have just.
Now you could spend a Benny on the to hit roll, or you can spend it on the damage roll. You can spend it on one or
I
the
actually
other.
didn't roll for the actual weapon, so
Yeah.
I'll just roll for the actual weapon and just see if this does the same thing. So, let's see if this does the same thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll give you that wild roll.
So roll damage.
Because
No modifiers for the damage, I don't think.
+4 to the damage.
+4 to the damage. Okay.
because you got the raise, that gives you an extra. You get to add the bonus damage. I don't know how that came up with 3d6
And it's 0.
0. Looking at it here, that's weird. But I can do math. So must be the double plus. Did
Yeah, I
to it.
probably put in 2 pluses and that mixed it up, so it
13, so it comes out to 20.
Yeah. So yeah, 2 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4. That's probably because I put in 2 pluses. So 2 plus 4 plus 3, which is 8, plus 4, which is 12. So 12 damage plus the 7 bonus damage, which is 21. No, it's 19.
19?
That's math, right?
Okay.
That's math, right?
I think I came out with 20 when I looked at it.
20,
Yeah.
Yeah.
20.
20.
Yeah, 2 plus 4, which is 6, plus 3, which is
9.
9, plus 4,
Plus 4 is
which
13,
is 13,
plus 7.
plus 7 is 20. Yeah. Yeah, always one off. So 20.
And then the AP on that is 2?
3. It's a
3?
C18.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, you got a success, which is enough. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yay!
You killed it in one round. You saved the mayor's life because you had literally one round to kill it before it was, or you had basically one action before it was gonna kill the mayor instantly.
Well, as I said, I
I
was thinking Alice would be doing the good old cowboy thing of just from the pocket, just in and then back down.
You can hear Bon Jovi in the background. I'm a cowboy.
There's
Well,
just
he's
a little,
wearing the trench
little
coat,
country
so
twang there. Yeah.
He's wearing the
was
trench
really-
coat as well, so
Yeah, that was really impressive that it dropped down, Kriptk immediately stunned it, and then you just annihilated it with gunfire in two shots. That was awesome.
I mean, that was a really lucky roll that I had, though.
Yeah.
Kriptk just turns to the inspector and goes, "Yeah, that's how we roll."
He's just he smirks and he just nods. He's like, "That's a good way to roll." And then he walks over to it and he's stroking his chin. And he kneels down and pulls out like a little thin metal rod, and he's just poking and prodding it. So you may think I'm here looking for magic users or whatnot. I was just using that as my excuse to be here. The GM needs to open his file back up so that he can get the details. There we go. Oh, not even
Alice, after taking it down, he'll float over to the big monster and see if he can grab a sample from it.
Okay.
It's another sample.
Ellis is all about samples.
Yep. Now he's got the bioanalysis kit. He can take all the samples he wants.
This is the last robot you want to take to Costco.
Pretty much. So as he's kneeling down and he's probing it, he's like, "Oh, interesting. Little scientist there, I see." So what I'm here looking for is evidence. There is a Dr. Bradford, who is a scientist working at Lone Star, and I believe he has been conducting unauthorized experiments within the area. Bradford supposedly works for the Coalition, but I don't believe he is doing that just for the sake of the Coalition. I believe he is doing that more for himself. He is, I believe, one of the minds behind the creation of the Dog Boys. I will check. I will do as I said. I will go and check the Nexus to see if there is something going on. Why don't you check the hive that they claim is in the area?
I want to do an insight roll, but there is no insight roll. Fuck.
It could
Because
be
he,
noticed.
yeah, because he just said that there's a scientist coalition, but Alice knows that coalitions, troops at least, aren't really the most sharpest tool in the shed. So
Sure.
2 and 2 is not adding up to
Mhm.
Alice. It's like, wait a minute. So there's an intelligent person that works for your coalition. That doesn't make sense. What's this guy talking about?
Wait a minute. This
Do
2 and
you
2
say that?
equals 3.
You could roll a persuade or something. I'd let you do.
I think I'll
That's
roll a
gone so
notice
well earlier,
check
Steve.
to see if Alice can put that together. That does make sense, and he does. So he's going to roll, and he's going to roll the persuasion to ask the inspector. Basically, I'm just trying to think of how he would word it. But at the end of the day, basically ask him that the coalition doesn't really put any or much, words just escape me at the moment. The coalition doesn't put much thought into intelligence. Or
We do.
yeah, words escape me at the moment.
No,
You know,
I get
trying
what
to
you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like,
just
the
roll
rank and
persuasion.
file,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
general populace are often kept. They're kept intentionally ignorant. It is a system of control. I am also a part of that system. The dog boys are part of that system. They make the people feel safe. I don't necessarily always agree with the attitudes of my fellow citizens. And there are definitely, we have advanced armors, we have advanced weaponry. We have the dog boys who were created, made in a lab. These things were not done by unintelligent people, even if it is recovered technology from the golden age. It still took someone to figure it out. So yes, there are very smart people at the top of the coalition, and they try to keep the people underneath them blissfully ignorant, or so the line goes. I'd much
Okay.
rather work with intelligent people. But I have a duty to serve and to protect the people I care about.
Okay. Then with Alice's new realization of what he is, probably Ripper and Kriptk can see that there seems to be a bit of anger coming from Alice, even though he's hiding it pretty well. But it's probably the first time you've seen him.
Does he have the robot shakes?
Yeah, the robot shakes. It seems like he wants to lash out, but he's trying to hold it in.
You seem upset.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine.
We're an unusual being.
Aren't we all?
That is a true statement. All right. And he looks over at the Psy Stalker and the others, and he's like, I think these folks can probably handle investigating the hive. Don't bite off more than you can chew, looking at you. We'll go and take a look at this nexus. And, well, when you get done with what you're doing, if we're not back, come and check on us.
Kriptk says, "We have decided that we're going to go check the hive."
He chuckles and he's like, uh-huh. And like he walks
What
past
gave you that idea?
I believe
and
that
you
was
see the
part of
vehicle
the
that they
plan.
get into. Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Ripper?
I was I was just saying, I believe we had already made that decision. As he just kind of cocks his head and doesn't quite understand, like he doesn't quite understand why that needed to be said.
So the group of nerds with no social skills, it's all having existential crises and other things.
Three nerds walk into a hive.
Indeed. And as you watch the coalition leave, because I'm assuming you're going to watch them to make sure they go, they the vehicle they get in resembles a skull with like I think it's 6 legs that surround it, and it's got these like gun barrels sticking out of the front. But it's this big black metallic skull that they all pile in, and it goes scuttling off to the west.
Cool little vehicle. I think that's in one of the slides that we have running around
Yep.
on the screen.
The Spider Skull Walker.
Yeah,
Yes, those are cool.
they are.
They have new ones.
I
that
mean,
are
Alice
random.
will look at it like, mechanical legs. I like.
Mechanical legs. And the mayor thanks you for like saving her life. She's also looking at this carcass, and she's like, "I don't know what we're gonna do with that. Any thoughts, ideas, anything?"
Maybe, sorry, maybe you could feed it to the cows.
I don't know that would be safe.
They might have mutated to want flesh.
That is not. That's concerning.
Alice will go over to the mayor and just, as politely as he can, just ask, excuse me, would I be able to take a sample of your blood? I've taken a sample of a few of these mutated creatures. I just want to see if there's a common thread between them.
It's like, yeah. Actually, roll me a persuade check, but give yourself a plus 2. Yeah. What did you break?
I broke. I think it's because I put in +4 instead of 4.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
So I'm just going to roll that again just to put in +2.
There is a button that you can click on, like the last tab.
There we go. That's better.
There's an option where you can toggle whether or not you want it to ask for modifiers before you roll.
Yeah. Well, it does bring up that menu, but I put in +2. But I don't think I need to put in plus. Yeah, it's only when I have a negative trace I need to put in minus. I think that's probably what's confusing it.
Yep. All right. Yeah, she's okay with it. And then, matter of fact, she's like,
sorry, I rolled notice for that one for some reason.
Oh.
Right next to
we're
persuasion.
still on top of it. Professional gamers.
We are professionals.
Yes. There we go. But still,
there we go.
It's
still good. It's still good. As a matter of fact, she's like, would it work better if you had more samples? Let me see if I can get some of the other townsfolk to volunteer samples.
If they would volunteer for it, yes, that would be very helpful.
Sure. And she goes and like, there's people coming out because like this all made some noise. And there's people coming out, and she gathers some folks together who are willing to volunteer samples, and all of them have mutations of one kind or another. Sometimes they're insect-like, sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's multiple. There's even some of it where it looks like there's part of this person that's regrowing on this person, like features are getting swapped and stuff. It's weird. But yeah, they let you all they all let you take samples. You can analyze when you have time.
Yep. Get some use of that bioanalyst kit.
Now,
exactly what's useful.
the mayor will also tell you. So the place we think you're heading towards is to the south, and there's no real roads down that way, and the terrain is pretty rough. You may wish to go on foot. I don't know if your vehicle, and she like looks at your mountaineer, I don't know that it's going to quite make it.
Well, at
Just
least get us close is what we need.
Sure. About this time, Planck comes over and he's like, Jesus Christ! What 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 the shit happened here? I'm gonna go get something and burn it. And he like goes back. And he like comes back and he's like sets a plasma fire on this thing, and he's just like, no, we're burning it. Burning it, it's an abomination. So that's what happened to the body.
Kriptk stands upwind.
Fair. Fair.
We should have really got it out of the center of town first.
Hindsight is 2020.
The question
like
is, who would have been able to carry it?
That's just it. No one would have been able to carry it. So there it sat, and there it burns.
Well, unless Ripper's got like a D12 in strength or something like that.
D10, so close.
Oh. Well, I think, Kriptk, you have a D4, don't you? For strength, or?
Hold on. The Mountaineer would
Yeah.
would probably
the Mountaineer
have
could have towed it.
Yeah. Just throw
even
drags it
better.
around.
We could have winched it.
Are we playing Snowrunner? We're going to winching?
If only winching worked like that in real life.
Right. All right. So yeah. All right. So you torch this thing. You can tow it out of town if you want, I suppose. It's up to you. So yeah.
Well, it depends on what the community wants. Do the community like the smell of burning flesh?
Mutant burning flesh.
They haven't had meat in a while, so maybe they haven't had a good barbecue.
Well
You can't get the same smell when you're just grilling veggies.
It smells like chicken and hot dogs for some reason.
Yeah. So, you gonna pile back in the Mountaineer and head south a bit?
I think so.
Now, Kriptk, you can detect. What's that? Oh.
No, I was agreeing. Yes, we should go south in the vehicle.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you start heading south. You can tell there is a ley line in this direction for sure. You can feel it, and you're traveling, and you get to a point where like the terrain has just become basically impassable with the Mountaineer. It's become very rocky, lots of gullies and dips, and like it just can't do it. So you're gonna have to disembark and go on foot. And yeah, so you're going on foot, and
quote unquote on foot, yes,
quote unquote on foot.
Get me one of those upgrades, then I can move hundreds of kilometers an hour.
And as you get out and you're walking for 20 minutes, and Kriptk, you feel something. You're like, oh dear. You can feel a ley line storm brewing, and at this range, you can now kind of start to see the ley line, because this is a medium-sized ley line. It is 500 feet tall. It's a quarter mile thick. So you can see, all of you can see this bluish light in the distance, passing through this kind of mountainous and rock. Well, not mountainous, but like very jagged terrain. And you can, and sure enough, like you look and rolling in eastward. So you're coming south, it's coming eastward, going to the west. I'm just doing it on my directions. And the storm fronts on these things are several miles wide and several miles long. So this thing is going to be rolling in and hitting you here in just a moment. And as you're looking up at these clouds, you see a group of Zitics flying ahead of the storm. And that,
Found him.
yeah, is
There they are.
and that is where we're going to leave it for tonight, because this is going to get into a big old thing. So that should be
Big old
interesting.
thing.
A big old thing. So we're ending a little early, but we had some technical difficulties and whatnot, but we hung through. And you killed the thing in one
In 2
round
shots.
before it could, yeah, in 2 shots. That's nuts. And that, by the way, was a that was not even like an extra where it's just like one wound. That was like a full-fledged what do they call it?
Wild card.
Yeah. Wild card, yes. And like with it being stunned and like knocked down in the whole bit, I was like, I could do a soak roll to see if it could soak some, but honestly, it's got penalties. It's rude. It's in a bad place. So I was like, yeah, that works. And you took it apart. So that was really cool. I wasn't sure. That thing was nasty. If you actually want to know what it is what's known as an experimental Zitix killer.
Mm.
Oh,
And it is. Yep. And it is the thing that killed the bear.
Okay.
It's also what killed the farmer that got killed. Because it was basically hunting things that had. It's a Zitix killer. Hunting anything that has Zitix DNA in it.
Which, because of mutations, there's in everything.
Yeah. So that's fun.
Fun.
Certainly might not run into any more of those. No.
well, it's a good thing robots can't mutate.
Oh,
They
but how
can
were
feel
my
free.
rolls that game? Fuck.
All right. So if we're all cool, we can see about just signing off for the night. Let's see. Actually, I should probably forgot to even pull up. There we go. See everyone's lovely faces. Waiting. And so I believe let's start. We'll go in reverse this time. So we'll start with red this time.
Hi.
Which I don't think it's reverse, but we'll just start with red.
Hello. I'm Red. You can find me over the internet here, different places. Mostly on Discord, though. Well, I'll say something nice as Discord, where I talk shit about everything to everyone.
Don't you have a thing coming up next week? Is it?
Is it next week? No, I think it's next
week
episode of
after.
Group Check is coming up next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yes, with a interesting system. I've got to read more into it, but it's like 300 pages long, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not that that kind of reader. I just skim everything. It's like, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. I like the art.
The pain you'd endure having to read the Transformers core rulebook.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Did it though? It was good.
Like reading that
All right.
first edition Shadowrun book.
Oh, ouch. Look, Spider Skull Walker right there. All right. And Kriptk, Gordo, tell us about you.
Okay. I'm Gordo. I
You cut out?
haven't told you that. You hear me?
No, we
You can
can't.
find me on Discord,
It's Gordo.
posting his system drill. And I run a couple of games, Hyperborea and Pathfinder, over on the Alamo City gaming Discord.
Jane, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Discord on Slices and Dices as Miss Deadite. You can also find me on Twitter as I think I'm either Jane or Miss Deadite. And you can also find me on Instagram as Miss Deadite or Jane. I've been getting into this hobby of taking pictures of toy cars and editing them to look really cool. So
Neat.
yeah, that's fun. I like it.
Cool. All right, and I'm John. I've been the game master tonight, in theory. Uh, you can find me over on Slices and Dices. Tomorrow night, I will be on twitch.tv/Defenders of Cobalt. We're doing Dungeon Crawl Classics. I'm trying to remember what off the top of my head is tomorrow. I think there's Red. Do you know what's playing on? There's nothing going on. Oh, all right. So yeah,
Day
there's
off.
no Slices and Dices. Come check us out over on Dungeon Crawl Classics. I will be doing my best bad Donald Trump as a halfling moneylender impersonation. It's awful. Definitely come check it out.
That's not what he
it's-
says. Right.
but but then also on Defenders of Cobalt on Wednesdays, I'm also in a Thunder Rift game, which is probably one of the weirdest homebrew settings I've ever been in, but it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, and then I will be back to this in probably about a month or so, new episode. And hopefully no technical difficulties. And yeah, otherwise, thank you all for watching, and if you're on YouTube or whatever, awesome, cool. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. Talk
Thanks,
to you later.
everybody. Bye.
Have a great night. Take care of yourselves. Take care of others. All that good stuff.